Hello everybody and welcome to the grand opening. We're finally here of Westwood. So I know you guys are excited as I am, and you guys don't want to hear me babble on forever, and you guys want to go out here and ride these rides. So I don't want to keep you guys too long, but today is a very special day because we get to open this amazing theme park for the very first time, and it already has a lot of history to it, so I want to keep everyone to keep that in mind. So I just want to go over everything about this wonderful theme park that you guys are about to experience. And I want to first thank everybody that is here for this amazing park today on the grand opening. I know you guys are excited to ride, Iron Ghost and Nova Luna and all those great rides out there that are available in this park. So anyways, we're going to get all into that in just a moment. So this park already has a huge history, already a big history behind it. So what you're looking at is the theme park, which we built obviously this last year and a half, and you're looking at all these rides, great coasters, all these buildings back here behind me as well. All these buildings are actually still buildings that were a part of this town. So back in the 1890s, this town where we're standing right now was an actual town called Westwood. So that's a very interesting fact about this park. It already has a great history behind this park. So I want everyone to keep that in mind, that a lot of these buildings you're seeing today have just been refurbished and they're still standing from one notable thing is the clock tower behind me is actually still one of the things that was in Westwood that is still standing today. So that's really a really neat history. So we took and looked into the history of this town and made an actual theme park out of it. So we made a lot of storylines for all the rides and attractions that you're going to be seeing today. One of the three main rides out here is Mining Mission, Iron Ghost, and Nova Luna. All in the different sections of the park that you'll be seeing today are great high-class roller coasters that we wanted to make sure were the best. So let's kind of go over a couple of those. So anyways, the first section of the park here is the entrance. It's the main square. You're going to get that awesome western-y kind of feel. All these buildings are the original buildings from Westwood back in the 1890s. We just had to renovate them, for park safety, of course, to make sure that they were still operational and everything like that. But we kept as much as we could to capture what this town was like back in the 1890s, and that was the most important part of making this this park, is actually making sure that it feels like you were in the 1890s in the real parts of this park. So a little bit of history that goes there here in the town square and the entrance of everything. You had all these shops, you had the saloon, you had the motel and everything, and it was a very great tourist attractions out here. So anyways, we move on to the Westwood Shores part of the park, where actual ships and different boats and stuff like that actually came ashore over here at Westwood, and it was a way of transporting stuff through the lake over there, and it was actually really cool of how all that works. So we decided to make this kind of more of the family area of the park. So there's you had the Whirly Rig, Raging River, which tells a story, of course, of how going down this river into the lake, that there was this myth that all this treasure was founded, and no one ever lived to tell the tale to actually bring back some of that treasure. So you guys are taking a brave trip through this raging river that hopefully at the end you'll find the riches and all the its glory about the myths and stuff end up being true. So it's really cool of how that works. And then of course we have Victory, the boat ride, the swinging ship, which is an amazing attraction as well for the families. It's going to be really fun. And of course Buckshot's Cafe. You can't go to Westwood Shores without going to Buckshot's Cafe, which is actually a real cafe back in the 1890s of Westwood. So it was actually, we're reopening it in the park, so it's going to be really fun as well. and there's just a lot of shopping opportunities around this area as well. So make sure you check all those out while you're in the park. I know you guys are going to be hitting all the rides first, but it's going to be really cool. So going on to the next section of the park is the mining company. This is where the actual mines were. There's still actually mines down there today, to this day, which is actually a really, really neat fact. So, so there's actually mining mission, which is the main attraction out here. For that section of the park, and these miners actually went down and they worked and mined all these materials for the town of Westwood, and they would of course help keep they would use those materials for various different things, like iron and everything like that. So anyways, one day these miners got trapped down into the mine, and we actually looked all this up. This is true facts about Westwood, and they were looking for volunteers to try and go help rescue those miners. And in the end, they did rescue those miners, and they all came out okay. So that is the storyline of Mining Mission, that you guys are going to be helping these guys out. You're going to get your mining supplies, and you're going to go down and help get those guys out on a crazy mine ride. So it's one of the best mine train coasters out there, I think, and we wanted to make sure it was a great attraction for families and a great attraction for everyone that comes to Westwood. So it's a great ride. And I hope you guys will find enjoyment in that. So going on in the same mining section, which doesn't have a whole lot of rides, you have the mining mission, of course, and then also our only dark ride of the park, and that is Bandit Canyon. So we put this in the mining section of the park for the simple fact that the mining canyon, or the Bandit Canyon, which it was Mining Canyon before the bandits took over. The bandits took over this area and started taking those supplies that the miners needed to mine. So they got all these, pretty much all these lawmen and women to get out there and actually try and drive all those bandits out of that canyon so we can retake that canyon back and continue all the materials and stuff like that. So this canyon actually consisted of, where they would buy all their mining supplies, because there was a lot of stores out there. There was a saloon, and it was almost like a town within a town almost. And this was actually a fictional story that we came up with for the park, so it's actually a very, very cool little thing that we came up for the mining section of the park, and it's the only dark ride, and it's a great ride for the families as well. So there's a lot of shopping, of course, in the mining company, and you guys want to check out all those mining supply shops and stuff like that, so it's going to be really, really neat. And of course, I know what you guys are waiting for is the Ghost Town section of the park, where most of you are probably going to head over because of Iron Ghost and everything like that. So this tells the story, this section tells the story of the park after, it got attacked. So back in the late 1890s, the town actually got attacked, was under attack, and drove everyone out of there, and that's how we found this place today, is after it's been attacked, and it's been sitting here for hundreds of years, or over 100 years now. So so that's a very, very cool thing to note, historically, that this place was attacked back then, and it's just been sitting around here forever, and we thought this was a great theme park opportunity for our first park for JLW Entertainment. So we go in, and we wanted to make sure we could tell the story as well. So the Ghost Town is literally the town after the attack. So that's something that's really, really neat to note. Now, a little bit of story about the Iron Ghost. Now, this was a really cool storyline that we came up with while we were trying to do our theming plans and everything like that. So a lot of people think this is actually a true story, so it's actually really, really neat. So there was this gentleman that worked in the mine. He worked down there, and he had this fascination with iron, and he would always be, creating stuff out of iron, building, different things out of iron, structures and everything like that. He absolutely loved iron. You would go to his house in Westwood, and all you would see is all this iron everywhere. Well, he tragically passed away during the attack on the town, and it's said that he haunts this area of where he lived, of course. And the crazy thing is the miners would be mining, the iron and everything, and when they weren't looking, that iron would disappear out of nowhere, out of thin air, and ever since then they called him the Iron Ghost. So the ride itself is you're taking a journey, it's almost like in the mining kind of theme in a way, and it's kind of a journey on this crazy train, and the train starts moving by itself from the Iron Ghost, and it's just a crazy ride, and you guys will, of course it's going to be the highlight attraction of the park, and I know you guys are very excited for it, especially with Rocky Mountain Construction doing a fabulous job coming up with the design, and it's a great attraction. I think everyone's going to have a nice, thrilling experience on Iron Ghost. So there's also a lot of different kind of thrill attractions over there. There's the Haunting, which is a really cool ride, and then of course there's also a little town square in the Ghost Town as well, which is actually really fun, and I encourage you guys to check that out, because there's going to be some really cool theming around, you know, the restaurants and everything in that area, so it's going to be really neat. Then we move on to the Invention Company. So the Invention Company was a section of Westwood where they would invent new things, you know, to help out the town, you know, whether it be helping with mining stuff or just in general, you know, they would invent all these things for transportation-wise and all that different stuff. It would be really fun, and there's this one scientist kind of guy. His name was Dr. Strani, and he would actually invent a lot of different things. He invented, you know, this power flip kind of ride, which would flip you upside down tons of times, and he did invent a lot of entertainment stuff as well as the super swing. But his most famous invention, of course, was Nova Luna, and Nova Luna is a high thrill floorless coaster built by B&M, manufactured by B&M, and they created this awesome ride for us that I'm very excited to show you guys, and I hope you guys find it a great. It's a big looping coaster, has a lot of loops, corkscrews, and even, you know, twists and turns and everything like that, and one of the other highlight attractions in the park. So I hope you guys go check out Nova Luna. And the storyline behind Nova Luna is it's this flying contraption that Dr. Strani actually came up with, and he showed it to Westwood, the folks of Westwood, and they thought he was crazy. It was a transportation device that flies over Westwood and stuff like that, but it had kind of its interesting failures, if you would, and it kind of was a crazy ride. So Dr. Strani was looking for some test subjects to go ride this thing and help test it out a little bit. So you'll go through this little lab and everything of him designing this said contraption, and Nova Luna was the name of his dearly beloved that had tragically passed away. So he named this insane flying contraption after her, and it was a very interesting name. It's actually her last name, Nova Luna, which is also a very cool, interesting storyline. So, and then you head back to the town square, and it does this loop. You got to go through the loop just to pretty much get to that. So, and then there's also, of course, the train depot, which is also a really cool addition. It gets you around the park a little bit. If you don't want to walk all the way to the ghost town from the entrance, you can actually get all the way to the back of the park. So it's actually a nice little transportation that we added, and you get a couple cool views of the park and, of course, trees. So the cool thing about this park is it's built on some uneven land in a couple of areas, and it really helps out with a lot of the coasters, and it's really neat. So I hope you guys enjoy yourselves in this amazing park. I know you guys are ready, so I want to hear you guys. Are you guys ready for Westwood? And I know you guys are. I am. And let's go check it out. And you guys are free to go right through the turnstiles and go have some fun. So anyways, thank you guys, and I hope you guys have a blast.